And then I got to get the clap. Woo! Hey, great morning. We got special guest Gigi, the birthday girl from Atlanta. So she's getting Triple M live, you guys. She got done with our workout. So let's get in. Tai Lopez is going to be sharing how to become a learning machine and why it's so important to become one. He's famous for, he reads a book a day. So pretty powerful stuff. So let's get into Tai Lopez sharing some nuggets with us on Triple M.
In his top 10 rules of success, volume 2. Enjoy. All right, let's kick things off with rule number 1, my personal favorite, find mentors.
The fact that people argue with me on this reading thing, and people argue with me about mentors. No, just use your own gut feeling. Is that how you learned English? When you were 2 years old, you used your gut feeling to start conjugating verbs? No, you learn from other people. You learn manners, you learn language, you learn all things valuable. You learn to drive from another person. So doesn't it make sense you learn life? So books are just the mentors who maybe are dead now. You want to learn about Steve Jobs? He ain't alive to teach you. But you can learn through accumulated wisdom. And that's why, just trust me, very few powerful businessmen I've ever met don't read a lot. Warren Buffett, who I think is the best businessman by far in the world, he has 75 companies that he pretty much runs, 200 billion in revenue. He reads 8 hours a day. He reads 600. He said he slowed down in his old age. He only reads 500 pages a day. Bill Gates goes on reading vacations. Mark Zuckerberg just started a reading once a week book club on Facebook. It already got a couple million followers. And now with audio books, there's no excuse. You got YouTube videos. Let this thing run in the background. Like you want to become like a supercomputer where you just download smart crap from smart people. And you pick and choose. Like some people are like, Tai, I don't agree with everything you say. I'm like, good, I don't agree with everything I said. Like a year later, I'm like, wait, I was wrong. I see people making fun of the Kardashians. I'm like, you're going to make fun of the Kardashians? Look, Kylie Jenner, the youngest Kardashian, in the last 18 months has done $400 million in revenue on lipstick kits and various makeup things with Kylie Cosmetics. Put that in perspective. L'Oreal, Maybelline, massive brands. It took them 50 years as an organization with thousands of employees to do what Kylie Jenner did by herself at 20 at 18. You're gonna laugh at the Kardashians? Do you have to agree with everything the Kardashians? No. But like Abraham Lincoln said, I learn from everybody, even if sometimes it's what not to do. So you can just go into the Kardashians, reverse engineer their success, go, I like this, I like this, I like this, I don't like that, then leave out what you don't like.
Rule number 2, work smarter.
I know single moms. My mom was a single mom. All around us. Families, single moms, people trying to put food on their table, working 2-3 jobs. Is the answer for them to just work harder, or is it to work smarter? Work hard or work smart, because they're different. I'm always reminded of this story that my mentor, Alan Nation, told me. He said, Tai, and I don't know if this is a true story, but it gets the point across. There was a plane flying over South America. It crash landed, and it was full of all these engineers, all these hard workers. And the hard workers got out, and there were some machetes, and they all grabbed a machete, and they began to hack their way through the jungle. Chop, 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 chop. Flurries of activity, boy. They were working hard, but they forgot something. Don't ever confuse flurries of activity with accomplishment. Activity doesn't always equal achievement. So they were chopping through, and luckily for them, one person got out of the plane. Instead of working hard, went on, climbed up a big tree, and looked out and surveyed the landscape, and yelled down to the group and said, hey guys, you're working hard, but you're going the wrong direction. You're going deeper into the jungle. The city for our escape is the other way. You see, what's moved civilization forward is not just hard work. Go to any hotel, go to any restaurant, the hardest working people there are working their ass off, and they're still not getting ahead. There's still not equality in pay. There's still people making massive amounts who don't work nearly as hard as the working class. No, what gets you ahead is leverage. In fact, it's the exact opposite. What you want to do is figure out how to work half the time and get twice as much done, so that you could take a vacation, so that you can paint a painting and have some downtime, so you can go on vacation with your family, so you can just lay out on the beach and just look at nature and enjoy life. You want to just grind yourself into the ground? Go ahead. But the people that get ahead are not just grinders. They're not. The grind is necessary, work is necessary, but it's never a goal. It's a necessity. The goal is very different. The goal of life is not to breathe. Breathing is a necessity. The goal of life is to enjoy your life, to do something important. You breathe because you must. You work because you must. But you never say, well, why I'm here is just to breathe. No, you're not here just to work. Working harder doesn't always change the game.
Rule number 3, find your motivation.
Most people procrastinate because they don't feel confident that what they're doing really motivates them. If it really motivated you, you wouldn't procrastinate. It's like a 14-year-old kid that the mom and dad can't get the kid to do anything, but the kid's motivated to play video games. Kid will ride his bike across town to buy a video game and come back. So there's motivation there. The parents just don't know how to find it. And as you grow, you have to know how to find deep within yourself that motivation. And once you have motivation, you have no problem with procrastination.
Rule number 4, be a perfectionist.
People, you have to know how to double check your work. It's that simple. It doesn't mean you're always a perfectionist, but it means when it's important, when you're a pilot of an airplane, double check before you go. If you get on a plane, you hear the pilots double checking, the co-pilot going, hydraulics. And the guy goes, hydraulics. And that's why planes don't crash. And it's called 6 Sigma. It's 3 defects per million. Your goal in business and in life on the important things is to make 3 mistakes per million transactions. And the only way you do that is by being a perfectionist in terms of double checking.
Rule number 5, have thick skin.
A lesson in branding, whenever you're trying to brand yourself or any company, if you change your brand from what it used to be, right away you can get resistance. So most people, when they get a little resistance, because most people don't have thick skin, they stop. But over time, if you keep branding yourself in the new brand, then eventually it catches on. Like I used to not have much fitness stuff, so when I started putting fitness stuff, people were like, what is all this fitness? Now, eventually, people just associate that with you, and they forget there was a time when you didn't do it. So that's a good tip on branding. You have to have thick enough skin, because it's kind of like when Facebook changed. Every time they change their interface, people go nuts. Oh, I hate this. But then 3 months later, they can't remember the old one. And then when you change to a new one, they say, no, we like the one before. But that one before is the one they hated because it was a change from the version of, one before. But Mark Zuckerberg's smarter than people. That's why he just keeps changing it to whatever is better, and then people eventually like it. Same when Instagram changed their logo, and Snapchat changed their, people always... A lot of people have low O, meaning low openness to new experience. They automatically hate anything new.
Rule number 6, invest in yourself.
And I'm telling you, becoming a learning machine and a person who invests in themselves works. I invest at least $100,000 a month in my own education. Literally, 100 G's a month. Not a year. I got a CPA, back that number up. I've shown it. It's obvious, too, if you watch my Snapchat. Traveling, mentors, coaches, consultants that I pay. And I've been doing that for years. And it's funny, the more I invest in myself, every year my income's gone up massively. And people go, oh, well, I'm not going to pay for stuff. I'm just going to Google it. Well, go ahead. But I'm telling you, there is a magic in investing in yourself. People get it. Invest in real estate's good. Oh, okay. I do that. Invest in stock market. That's good. I buy land. I invest in buy businesses. It's all good. But nothing touches the ROI on investing in my own brain.
Rule number 7, be organized.
The next one is organization. I can't tell you how much better my life is, and anybody watching this will be, if you wake up every single day and you take 10 minutes. I have yellow notepads sitting all around my house. I got that from Bill Gates. Bill Gates built Microsoft at 17 by locking himself in a hotel room with 6 yellow notepads, and he wrote out the whole basic code for DOS and things that built Microsoft. Okay, he became the richest man in the world 18 years straight because he was organized enough to lock himself in a room and think through his day. And so what I try to do, and whenever I do this, I have a great day. Whenever I don't, I notice it. Be organized a little bit, 10 minutes. I actually have this little couch thing outside of my shower, and I put a notepad by it. I take a shower when I wake up. I walk over to that. I kind of sit there, and I just write out. I mean, it can be as little as 3 main projects you want to get done that day.
Rule number 8, optimize for the right things.
If I could go back in time and learn one thing, I'm going to tell it to you right now. It's this. You can only pick one thing that you want out of life, and if you pick the wrong thing, you'll never really be successful. Let me back up. My mentor, Joel Salted, said, the worst thing in life is to get older and realize you got good at the wrong thing. And I see people that are very wealthy, but I don't admire them. I live here in Beverly Hills. There's billionaires all up and down the street. Doesn't mean I would trade lives for them. In fact, the best test is, I call it the exchange test. Would you trade lives? And the reason that almost anybody I meet, I wouldn't trade lives for them, it's not because they're not smart, it's not because they're not good people. It's because, one simple thing, they're optimizing for the wrong thing. So let's say you say, I want to be an entrepreneur. That's not something you should optimize for. That's ridiculous. Here's why. You have one life. Maybe we go to heaven or hell after, maybe there's an afterlife, maybe there isn't. I've never been there, so I can't speak on it. But I can tell you, you get one chance on this planet. And if you optimize for an entrepreneur, what about your health? What about love? What about happiness? I know miserable entrepreneurs that are fat, out of shape. I don't want to be them. I know a dude that, not a close friend of mine, but a friend of an entrepreneur friend, and this guy's a billionaire, but he's so fat he can't get out of bed. His $2 billion, he has a private 747 jet. So would I want to be him? No. He optimized for the wrong thing. He optimized to make $2 billion, but he forgot, why would you want to have $2 billion if you don't have health? I always remember what Joel Salatin said, nothing worse in life than realizing you got good at the wrong thing. That guy got good at the wrong thing. It's irrefutable. You cannot argue with that. Why would you give your health up to gain money? There's a saying that when people are young, they lose their health to get wealth, and when they're old, they use their wealth to get back their health. It's a circular logic, and circular in this case is illogical. It's stupid. People are stupid. If I could go back in time, I'd realize most people are lost. Literally, most people are lost. I'm talking about the people who write, you know, I got the biggest book club in the world. I know top authors and all these people. They might be smart in one specific domain, but if you look at their life, I wouldn't exchange for it. There's a few people that I've met that when I look back, I'm like, you know, one of them, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Not everything, but he was healthy, he was strong, he changed the world, he made gyms hot. Gyms come from Arnold Schwarzenegger. He made that shit hot. All the gyms all over America is from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, other people worked on it, but not like him. He motivated people, became a self-made millionaire before 30. He wanted to act. Acting's an art. He was an artist. He became, you know, maybe he wasn't the best actor in the world. He's not bad. I was actually in his kitchen a couple months ago, just like this, me and him talking, smoking cigars. He's a good actor. Like I said, he might not be, you know, Academy Award, but he got the good life. His son was there, his kids were there at his house. He's happy, he's friends, he's got social life. You gotta have health, wealth, love, happiness. If you at any point optimize for anything that doesn't involve all four of them, you're making the biggest mistake in the world.
Rule number 9, build an elite team.
Here's what you gotta do to build a team. First of all, number one, you gotta realize no one ever did anything big without an elite team around them. Bill Gates said he never did anything alone, except take tests. He said he had Steve Ballmer, he had Paul Allen, he had 100,000 employees behind him to build Microsoft into the biggest company in the world. Same with Facebook, same with Apple, same with Elon Musk. That realization will help you put in the time and motivate you to have the effort, to want to put in the effort. Number 2 thing is you have to train formally. Everybody knows they need to train their employees, but they do it in a very informal, haphazard way, which doesn't work. What does formal training look like? Well, maybe a little bit like a classroom, a dedicated room that your employees go into, a dedicated time, pen and paper, drills, exercises, quizzes, testing for retention. Then number 3, you got to look over their shoulder, because once you do the formal training, you can't expect memory retention to be perfect. So it must be continue over the shoulder style training. My main hope is that you'll take away the concept of a formal training program. Most entrepreneurs train very haphazardly. They train only in crises. Well, that's not going to cut it. If you only train during crises, then guess what? Your blood pressure is going to be through the roof, and you're only putting out fires. Prevent fires, prevent fires, prevent fires. So you should have at least a 3-time-a-week training program for your employees, even if you only have one employee. And it should feel formal. There should be a curriculum to it. There should be an understanding when they walk in the classroom or the training room what they'll learn for that day. There should be evaluations formally. So don't just be like most small business owners that don't have an elite team because they never took the time, they never understood the importance, they never formalized the training, and they never followed up on the training.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is have fun.
Hey, I'm back here in my garage. Just got this new Lamborghini. But you know what I'm more proud of?
Are you doing that knowledge again?
Oh.
I am sick and tired. Every time I go out of town,
Sorry, sir.
I find out you're uploading YouTube videos
Sorry.
talking about your cars.
Yes, sir.
And your house.
Yes, sir. Sorry about
Cut
that.
it out!
Sorry, sir. The bushes, I trimmed them, though. I trimmed them. Look how clean this thing looking right now.
Shut up!
Okay, sorry, sir. I got to go. I'm going to lose my job.
Oh, man. That's too funny. Too funny, man. I love Tai. Tai is a beast, man. I used to see his videos all the time on YouTube. I was like, who is this dude? And then somebody said, you know what? If you actually let that video play where he's talking about the Ferraris, he actually goes into the importance of learning. And I was like, what? I never let it play past 5 seconds. So when I let it play and I started hearing him talk about the importance of educating yourself, how, formal education in the school system probably left a lot of gaps in your knowledge. I was like, man, this dude is speaking my language, man. We got his 67-step program on the spot. That changed my life. We have his other programs as well. I just love the way he thinks, man. He's a sharp guy. So I'm going to give you a couple of my favorites. So number 1, you got to find mentors. He said, people think they can just learn everything on their own. Did you learn how to talk your language? We speak English on this Zoom. I'm sure some of you guys speak other languages as well. Did you learn how to speak your language? Did you learn how to walk? Did you learn manners? Did you learn, how to dress? No, you learned all these things from other people, but there's a time where we get to a place where we think we're done learning from other people, and I think it's so crucial to understand that your thoughts create your habits, and then your habits create your life. But where do you get your thoughts from? You get your thoughts from, the input that you put into your mind. Commercials, television, radio, music, movies, the circle around you. So if you just think about that, I never used to understand this until I would think about, there's a speaker called Les Brown. If you haven't checked him out, this dude changed my life. He was like my first personal development exposure that I really understood what personal development was. He said, try to finish out, Snickers bars, the logo, when they're like, you're not you when you're hungry. Or, there's other ones like, have it your way. I think that's like Burger King or McDonald's or one of them. There's all these slogans that I was like, man, they're popping up in my head. He said, you know why they're there? Because you've been programmed by repetition. And it's like the same thing with anything. How did I learn how to speak English? I learned just from hearing my parents over and over. So as you get older, if you want to change your life, then you've got to start having different habits. And where do those habits come from? Different thoughts. And he said books are one of the best places to get them. Why? It's because there you can choose a mentor that maybe isn't around anymore. Or if they are around, maybe they don't have time to one-on-one mentor you. Like Tai Lopez is one of my mentors. I've never met the dude. I'll meet him one day. I'm going to dap him up, say thank you. We're going to take a picture. And I'll be like, man, you really had an impact on my life. But that will already have happened because of his video series that I got mentorship through. So who are you choosing? We all have mentors. That's what people don't really understand. We all have mentors. The thing is, sometimes they're mentors that maybe you haven't taken a long-term look at where their mentorship is taking you. For example, I have mentors that, were male figures that chased a lot of girls, that party and live a certain lifestyle, and that were like that kind of male. at our event this weekend, we learned they're called machos in the Hispanic culture. I was like, man, but I wasn't in the Hispanic culture. I was in another culture. But that was the mentors that I had in my life. Why? Because as a young male, that's what we congratulated. That's what we celebrated. That's what we saw on movies and in music and heard from and the people we looked up to. So that became my mentor. But then I didn't understand that the long-term effects of that mentorship was me being alone, me having having a bad breakup, me not having a lot of friends, me not building solid, deep relationships. I didn't understand the long-term effects of that mentorship. So you may be having some mentors in your life that maybe eat a certain way, that maybe do certain things with their weekends and their evenings, that maybe invest in certain things that aren't building them, you know? So who are you choosing your mentorship from? That was one of the biggest things. I'll be honest with you, when I came into Herbalife, it was a time for me in my life personally where I was in a transition of looking for new mentors. I knew that I saw the people ahead of me in my current fit. I was a physical therapist and I still practice part-time today. I saw people ahead of me in the physical therapy profession that were not loving like life because they were always working. They had 4 kids or 3 kids or 2 kids and never got to see them. They weren't even looking healthy and they were always inside. And then I came into Herbalife and I saw these people that were like looking like they were glowing. Like I was seeing, they were like, man, in shape. They were happy. They were smiling. They were fired up. They were living an amazing lifestyle. They were having time freedom. And I was like, what the heck? I need to learn I need that mentorship. I need that mentorship because who you take mentorship from, you become like. You become like. So I think that was the biggest one for me. And man, thank God my dad made me read when I was a kid. He used to make me read these National Geographic articles. I used to hate it at the time. I would have to give him a synopsis when he got back. And I would read page 1 and the last page, and I would make up like the in-between. But at least I read those 2 pages, you know, and it gave me a love for reading because I saw that I was learning new things that would help me get ahead. So I'm going to just touch on the importance of mentorship. Just write down on your paper, who is my mentor? Who do I get mentoring from? Is Bad Girl Riri my mentor? That's Rihanna, if you don't know. Is Bad Girl Riri my mentor? Is Cardi B my only mentor? I'm not saying, like, I actually like Cardi B. She came from a tough background, made it. Take that, like you said about, you know, Kylie Jenner. Like, built an amazing bit. Take the parts that make sense for your growth. Not all of it, you know? So those are my nuggets. What do you got?
What's up, you guys? Great morning. There's like 29 people in here. Congratulations. So I really loved when he said, have thick skin. Like, you have to have thick skin. Like, no matter what, because life is going to hit you no matter what. Like, I have seen in the past 5 years inside of what we do, like, so many people, like, life comes and gives you a little freaking, like, wind blows on your face and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Like, chill, relax, like, keep on going, because as long as you keep on stopping and like stopping and then starting, stopping and starting, like, you are postponing whatever it is that you're going after, like, who knows for how long, you know? So you have to develop that that tough skin that no matter what you go through, no matter how you feel, like, no matter what, it gets done. So for instance, inside of what we do, we call things like our daily method of operation, right? So it's just like, what does your daily method of operation have to do with whatever's happening in your life? It has nothing to do with one another. Like, you got to get things done no matter how you feel, no matter what. Like, you just have to go. Like, that's the kind of tough skin that you need to develop if you want to be successful. Because successful people have tough skin. They keep going no matter what, no matter the circumstances, like, no matter what may be happening around them, they get things done because why? They know the outcome and they know exactly where they're going. So that was one of my takeaways. And then I love how he said, the worst thing in life is to get old and master the wrong things. So it's just like every single day we're mastering something. Every single day we have habits and rituals that rule our life. So it's just like, what is currently like what are your current habits? What are your rituals? And are they going to take you to where you want to go? Which kind of is really in alignment with the whole thing of having tough skin. Like it goes so hand in hand, like no matter what, like what is it that you're developing? What kind of rituals are you developing? What are your habits, and are they taking you to the life that you want to go to 10, 15 years from now? I feel like as human beings, we sometimes get so caught up in like what has happened in the past, or maybe even right now, with not really looking into the future and thinking that the future is like someday so far ahead that I'll be good by then. But it's just like, no, because everything that you do today, inside of this moment, inside of this minute, inside of this hour, inside of your 24 hours, your day and your weeks, are what's going to create your future for the next 10 to 15 years. So you get to decide what kind of habits and what kind of rituals you want to start having now, so that 10, 15 years from now, you don't look back on your life and you say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I could have done better. Like, I feel like that is the worst space to be in life as you get older, because like, we're not getting any younger, you guys. And whatever it is that you're taking on, like if you're in your young 20s, if you're in your young 30s, like right now is the time to start building your future.
Absolutely. Fire. Birthday girl Gigi, not bad girl Riri. Do you want to share a takeaway?
Yes. She's out of the teens,
here.
y'all.
Come on.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Yes? Okay. I had a lot of takeaways, but one of my biggest ones was find your motivation, because if your why is strong enough, like nothing is going to stop you. Like you said, you wouldn't procrastinate on the mission that you have if your motivation was that strong. And another one was having thick skin. We all go through things. Even the most successful people, they have had things that they go through, but no matter what, they kept going, and that's why they're where they are today. So those were my biggest two takeaways.
Dope. Love it. Love it. Amazing. Amazing. I'm going to get two takeaways from live people tuning in. Give me a thumbs up or a smile if you're ready to share. Let me see. We got so many new people, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Everybody's growing together. Let's get it. Let's get it. Steph, give us a takeaway. Here, I'm trying to take you. There you go.
Oh.
Boom. Give us a takeaway.
Okay, so one of the biggest takeaways that I got was the work smarter part. So really about time management, which was something that I struggled with a lot. And I can honestly say that I'm able to have more time to do what I love, and also put my time and my work in where it needs to be done, especially with Herbalife. So I really love that.
Yes, that was an amazing.
And then
one. You got another one?
The second one is definitely be organized, which I've learned. So I have like my journal, and I've wrote down in my journal like all of my potential clients and everything, and then all of my clients, and just to keep following up with people when they say, oh, I'll get back with you later, and everything like that. So to stay organized and working towards your goals as well to help other people out.
Love it. Organize and plan out your day with your time management. I love it. Great takeaway, Steph. Love it. Ashley Ann, I saw a big smile. Give us a takeaway.
Great morning, great morning, great morning, amazing people. Happy Monday. So my takeaway was build an elite team, and that doesn't just have to do with, because I'm a part of Herbalife. I love Herbalife, but that means just the people that you surround yourself outside of Herbalife too, because we all have friends that were with us before we started certain things or certain endeavors in our life. And it doesn't mean that we need to drop them, but we do need to, if they can't upgrade with us, love them from afar, but keep it pushing. So whatever your goals are, don't worry about what they're saying. So don't worry about if they tell you no or they make fun of you or whatever, because the same thing he was talking about branding yourself. You're going to get a little resistance in the beginning, but that's no problem. But definitely build that team, build that strength, because as you grow and get stronger, they get stronger with you. And if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are open to doing that, don't suffer from not being surrounding yourself with people who are like open and ready. And you want to go, you go, and you find those people that are meant to be on the ride with you. So that was what I took from that. And I'm so fired up by that, because I'm like, we all look around and we're like, we surround ourselves with like the best people that we can. But at the same time, if you are like in a group of like 9 people who aren't doing well, you're number 10. So definitely, I definitely take that to heart because I always hear you saying that option. I'm like, all right, it's time. I got to upgrade my circle and upgrade myself. So thank you. That one hit.
Love it. Love it. Love it, Ashley. Absolutely. Upgrading and, really, I love the smart work versus hard work. Hard work, I feel, is like a step on the step to success. It's required, but it's not the only step. It's hard work, then smart work, and then consistency. Those three are all required in the mix of your pie. And then you definitely got to surround yourself with people. And this is a key thing. Don't try to convince nobody. Like, if you got to convince your circle, your friends, your team, your clients to be better, do better, give more, grow, then you probably shouldn't be around them. I'm going to just be real with you. It doesn't mean you don't love them. Like Ashley said, you love everybody. You love everybody from afar. But this is one thing you can't do is you can't sacrifice your future for being liked by people. Because at the end of the day, nobody else is going to pay your rent. Nobody else is going to take care of your family. Nobody else is going to put food in your fridge. And nobody else is going to make sure you're all right and your family's all right. You don't get paid for being liked. You get paid in life for being effective and valuable to the marketplace. And you might have to lose some friends for a time period. You might have to lose some family friendships from a time period, but that doesn't mean forever, because our speaker at this weekend's LDW Leadership Development Weekend, she said something that was really powerful. She said, become an example for your family. Become an example for your friends. What benefit do you do for them by playing small? Like, if they don't want to come with you, okay, that's fine. But is it really you doing the best by them, you not playing big? I've got friends that didn't believe when we started Herbalife that I know that us living on the water, being entrepreneurs, and what we've done inside of being entrepreneurs, I saw now one's into real estate. Now one has his own fitness company. They've never had anything like that before. But because we went first and we became entrepreneurs, I know they've seen our success, and that's given them belief. My little brother texts me. He's in 11th grade. He said, thank you. I was talking to my English teacher. Thank you. I realized that you gave me and Rashid, those are my two brothers, Kali and Rashid, you gave us a different example because dad went corporate, and my dad works for Disney, has a great corporate job. He said, but you went a different route. And I like that because guess what? My older brother, his older brother's in the business. Now, guess what I'm going to be able to teach him? He's studying business at USC. My other younger brother's like, I want to go into, I'm thinking Wall Street, or I'm thinking music. I don't know. He's all over the place. But I'm teaching him about not just chasing the money, but chasing the passion, and the money's going to come. How can I sit there and tell him that? Why? Because I did it. I said, I'm going to chase our passion. I went from mechanical engineering when I started college because I was told it makes good money, switched to kinesiology, which I thought made no money, then found Herbalife, which I found we can make as much money as we want doing the work that we love, helping people get healthy. So when I talk to him, I'd be like, hey, I switched, I chased the passion, then the money came later. Follow passion. But I can only have that conversation because I was integrity with it when at first my family made fun of it. They were like, you gonna drink these shakes? What's up with this Herbalife? Now they come over, can I get a shake? I thought you was clowning. Oh, no, man, I want to go to the next vacation. What? You got to inspire with results. Now, if we didn't have results, then they'd still be clowning. You got to have results. You got to have results. You got to have results and be the example. So fired up, you guys. I'm going to take everybody off mute. Let's have an amazing Monday, you guys, in Herbalife. It's end of month. Y'all better get to work. Let's go.
Let's go. Happy Monday.
Hey, let's get it. Let's go. Hey, have a great Monday, y'all. Peace.